Hello guys, welcome back to my channel AWS with Vim, and here I am with another video tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll learn how we can regain or recover access specifically to our Linux EC2 instance in case we lose a private key which was associated to a EC2 instance. So this is one of the way using which we can recover our access to Linux EC2 instance. So in this method, we'll use the recovery VM to which we'll attach the EBS volume which is attached to the instance of which we have lost our EC2 key, and we'll add a new key pair to that EBS volume. We'll detach it from our recovery VM and we'll attach it back to our VM for which we had lost the key earlier. All right, so let's get started. So I'm within my AWS EC2 console where I have two VMs running. One is my recovery VM, which I'll be using to recover access to my lost VM, which is the second one in the list. Let's just confirm the key which is attached to my lost VM for now. So if you will see, and if I scroll down, I have a Mumbai key pair attached to my lost VM. And for my recovery VM, I have a key called demo key. Now, before we start into the implementation process where we start the recovery thing, let's just confirm whether I have access to my lost VM or not. So to do that, I'll just copy the public IP of my lost VM. I'll switch to the terminal. I'll type the command, and before that, let's just do an ls to make sure I just have the demo key. One is the private key, which is ending with .pem, and .pub is the public key for the respective private key. So I don't have the Mumbai key pair in this folder. So I'll just try to SSH into my lost VM using the demo key to make sure that I don't have access to that VM as of now. So SSH-I demo key.pem EC2-user, as this is the Amazon Linux VM, Amazon Linux 2 VM, and EC2-user is the default for that, and the IP address of my lost VM. And it says permission denied, which proves that this key isn't associated with my lost VM. So now let's get back to the console and let's start the recovery process. For that, I'll need to just stop the instance. So I'll stop the instance. Now this is going to take a while, so I'll pause the video and I'll resume once the instance is stopped. All right, so my lost VM is now in stop state. So I'll go to volumes section using the left panel. I'll select the volume which is attached to my lost VM, and before detaching it, I'll just confirm the attachment information. So as of now, it is attached to dev xvda. We need to remember this information because once we have recovered the password and once we'll be attaching this EBS volume back to our lost VM, we need to provide this exact information because this xvda refers to the root volume. If you provide any other drive letter here, any other mapping, let's say xvda, b, c, f, or any other, your VM will not boot up. So we just need to remember that it's xvda. So we are good to go ahead and detach the volume. So I'll detach this volume. This should just take a few seconds and it's done. I'll now attach it to my recovery VM. So this is my recovery VM and I'll click on attach. This is also going to take just a few seconds and it has been attached. I'll switch back to my instances. I'll SSH into the recovery VM. So I'll copy the public IP. I'll do the SSH here using the demo key which I have. Even my recovery VM is using Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So I'll just use the default administrator user, which is EC2-user. And I'll hit enter. I'll confirm yes. So I'm within my recovery VM now. Okay. From here, I'll just type the command lsblk to have a look at all the volumes which are attached to my EC2 instance. So if you'll see xvda1, which is the root volume for my recovery VM, which is attached at the root path, and I have another volume which is xvdf, which is not yet mounted. So let's mount it. Just before mounting, I'll create a directory which I'll be to which I'll be mounting my xvdf volume, which belongs to my lost VM. So I'll just create a directory with the name, say wall, and I'll type this command sudo mount with no UID and followed by the path which is /dev /xvdf1, and I'm mounting it to the VOL directory which I just created, and I'll hit enter. Just to confirm whether my xvdf or the volume which belongs to my lost VM is mounted or not, I'll type the command lsblk once again, and I'll confirm that yes, it is now been mounted. So I'll now step into my xvdf volume. So I'll go wall, and if I do ls minus al, you'll see now I'm within the volume. So what I need to do now here is get into the home directory of my EC2 user. So I'll type cd home EC2 user. Now within this, if I type the command ls space hyphen al, I'll see .ssh, where is the authorized keys file stored, and I need to edit that file. So I'll just step into that cd.ssh, and there I have a file called authorized keys. Now I need to paste the public key here. Now, as I did not copy the public key earlier, what I'll do is I'll just open a new tab here. I'll zoom in, do an ls, and I'll do a cat demo key dot pub. I'll copy the SSH public key, and I'll switch back to my first tab. I'll edit the authorized keys file. Just before that, I'll confirm the permission which is attached to my authorized keys file. So I'll type ls-al, and I'll see that it only has read write permission allowed for EC2 user and EC2 user group. Now I'll just edit the file authorized keys, and in this, if you'll see, there is a Mumbai key pair file. Now you can either delete this entry or you can just append a new key to this. As I don't have the Mumbai key pair with me, I've already lost the private key, so there is no point of keeping it. So I'll just delete it, and I'll add the new entry here, which is for my demo lab. I'll save it. I'll just confirm the permission once again, that the permissions are intact, and yes. Now I have updated, or I have added the new key, which is my demo key. So now what I need to do is I just need to unmount this volume. To unmount, I'll need to get out of there. So easily, I'll just do cd and my home directory, which will pull me all the way back to my home directory. And if I just do ls-al, I'll see the wall directory here. So now I just need to unmount it. So I'll use the command sudo umount /dev /xvdf1, and I'll hit enter. I'll confirm whether it's unmounted or not, and yes, it is now. Now I'll switch back to my EC2 console where I have my lost VM still stopped. Now I need to do is I need to go back to volumes page. I need to detach the lost VM volume, which I attached to recovery VM for adding the new demo key in there. So I'll click on detach volume. It will just take a few seconds. And it has been. Now we need to attach it back to our lost VM. So I'll select lost VM, and here we need to update the device mapping, which will be XVDA, because we need to attach this as the root volume and not as the secondary volume. So make sure you provide the correct path here and click on attach. It is just gonna take few seconds and it's already attached to our lost VM. Let's head back to instances. I'll select the lost VM and I'll start it back. Now this start is going to take a couple of seconds to a minute. So I'll just pause my recording and I'll resume back once it's done. All right, so my lost VM is now in running state. I'll just copy the public IP of my lost VM. I'll come out of the recovery VM. I'll clear the screen. I have my demo key here. So SSH-I demo key.pem EC2 user, as this is Amazon Linux 2 VM, and the public IP of my lost VM. Fingers crossed, and there we go. So this is one of the way using which you can regain access to your Linux EC2 instance, no matter whether it's Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, Amazon Linux, whichever AMI you're using. But if you're using a Linux VM, you can recover your access to the instance in case you lose your private key. To watch other ways, use the cards provided in this video, which are flashing in the video, or the links are in the description panel. And finally, as usual, don't forget to destroy your VMs so that you don't incur charge for them. Great. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on future videos.